fancy. Hey, get your fancy out of my face.
Come on now.
It's the last time I touch your fancy.
Uh,
All right. Do we got the link yet?
I was just that was like the perfect part of it to be listening to.
Bear with me, folks. We're experimenting with Anthony's fancy.
My fancy.
He asks me to tickle his fancy.
My fancy.
So while we're tickling fancies, if you guys could like the video, share it, let people know we're here, etc., etc. And I will be doing the same because that's how we roll. Because we're awesome and we're amazing. Actually, we're not that anything like that, but it's cool. And there's my link. Copy link. Ta da 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 da.
Dude, stop. That's irritating the shit out of me. God.
Oh, buddy.
I know. Wow, Becky says she can't comment on the live chat. Ruh-roh.
Cannot comment on the live chat?
No, so she just,
What the hell did I do when I switched that?
oh, no, dude.
Son of a buck. That is not good.
Nope.
So you're going to have to just stick with me for a second while I change that setting back. Because I think it said something about my chat. I think it said something about the ability to chat, comment rather. And we have manage videos. And then we have, good Lord, stick with us, folks. We're almost there. I'll be cutting this out in the replay.
Let me go to YouTube.
So you want me to just...
Yeah, live chat's turned off.
Yep, let's bring this... What section was it in? Settings?
Settings, advanced. It's not a live show if you don't have technical difficulties.
This is true.
I can't see that far. Was it channel? Yeah, channel.
Channel advanced settings. There it is. Okay. It says made for kids. So apparently kids can't. Ads won't be personalized. Viewers can still be shown non-personalized.
No,
notifications, comments, and stories will be disabled.
Yeah, you need to put on no.
No, this channel's not made for kids. Well, that's what it was on.
Yeah, that's fine. Save it.
Okay, save. Yeah. All right, so if you guys can do me a favor, refresh the video, see if comments are now enabled, and if not, we'll go ahead and restart the stream in just a moment. I just need some confirmation.
Yes, live chat is up.
Live chat is up.
Live chat
Fantastic.
Is up. Come on in and hang out with us for a little bit.
Did you share it in the Discord already?
Who?
Oh, yeah, you don't have Discord.
I don't have Discord.
Ugh.
I don't have anything but mines. That's it, homie.
Ugh. Okay. There we are.
I was serious about leaving social media.
You didn't say
almost.
Social media.
Well.
Okay, Unframe Mine channel. God dang it. I got so much work to do before we can go live.
Now you really appreciate it.
I don't appreciate nothing.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
Okay.
You're having to get used to the fact that
all right. Oh, hey, whoa.
I'm not on anything. Hey.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
Apparently, I'm level 17 on my own Discord channel.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out, guys. There's apparently a number of things going on in the social media world that we've told you was going to happen for years now, and now it's finally coming to fruition. A lot of people have told you it's been happening. Nobody seems to believe us.
Nope.
Here we are. Fantastic. 2021 is starting with a bang, so we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things tonight.
Dumpster fire.
The dumpster fire that is social media.
Yes, it is.
Tonight on the Unframe of Mind show.
You're listening to the Unframe of Mind show, the place to have the most mind-stretching, unprotected, intellectual intercourse of your life. Your hosts battle the forces of evil by lobbing fiery balls of truth, reason, and evidence over safe room walls.
Is it just me, or is that chick's voice just so sexy?
I think mine's a little sexier.
Well, yours is also sexy, but
Welcome
in a very
to
masculine.
the Unframe of Mind show, where we have comfortable comfortable.
Very, very comfortable conversations.
Very comfortable conversations.
Yes. Silly Redhead says, I like a good bang. I bet you do.
Oh, dear God.
There's only one thing we can do. We are men of service. We are there to help the community in any way that we can.
Just throw me a token.
That's
over
it.
on Minds.
Yeah. Wow. Now you're internet pimping over there on Minds, huh? Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
So basically, we got a number of topics we're going to cover tonight, including the Twitter purge, the ironic Uganda censorship tweet that was put out, some of the messaging that's been going on about storming the Capitol on the 6th that I've watched advance, and completely, like, the rhetoric is continuously getting worse and worse. It's incredible how these stories play out. So stay tuned for all that. I think what I want to start with, though, is a segment that we've kind of left in the back burner for a little while and kind of forgot. But I really enjoy this segment, and I need you guys to, like, see it. So here it is. It's the Phobismist.
Phobismist. Phobismist.
Phobismist.
And tonight on the Phobismist, it is our job to explain to you why you should be offended by the very popular television show.
I can't be offended by this.
The Bachelor.
There's just no way in hell.
And The Bachelorette. You should be offended by The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. And for those of you who don't know what a phobismist is, feel free to check out the specific definition on urbandictionary.com. But just as a general outline, it's basically we're professional outrage merchants, and we just tell you why you should be offended by everything. So tonight's topic is The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. And if anybody has any reasons why these things might be offensive, please let me know in the comments section, and I will try to read those before the end of the segment.
How am I supposed to be offended by this?
So what's not to be offended by? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, you look at this. This here screams offense, like 100%. Like, and I'll tell you why.
Is there a? Yeah, it is very offensive. I don't see any Asians. There's no black women on there. Holy shit.
No, well, what? No, I'm not. Well, okay. Well, I'm talking
That's
about
a little offensive. I mean, we're supposed to be a multicultural country and a melting pot of different races and it. But there's...
Well, okay, Silly Redhead's offended by how dumb the show is. I'm not really sure that you can be offended by stupidity. That's just very counterproductive. So, but what I'm looking at, and to be fair, the particular picture I showed here is not representative of all of the women that have been featured on the show. There have been African American women,
but not in this particular picture, though.
Asian American women, just not in this particular one. I just grabbed one off the internet real quick, but that's not the point. The point is that you should be offended by The Bachelor and The Bachelorette because it's always a man and a woman relationship. Like, I have yet to see an episode of The Bachelor where it's two dudes, like a dude attending the sausage fest to find another dude. And there's also no room for, like, polyamorous type relationships.
This whole conversation just went sideways.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You should be offended by that. Like, if I'm any kind of cisgendered white male worth my salt, I should know that you need to be offended when certain demographics are not represented in television shows. Like, not once in all of the seasons of The Bachelorette have I seen a gay man kiss. Every other show has it. Like, you see a gay man kiss within the first 30 seconds of every show nowadays.
That's not on my priority list of things to watch on TV. No, it's just not. It's no.
You're supposed to be offended, Anthony.
Yeah,
it's
well,
a character,
you do a better job at being offended or coming up with this shit than I am. It ain't working tonight.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm trying.
You did
man,
mention.
I'm trying.
You did mention earlier that you were very offended by the fact that you don't get to have 35 women available.
Well, just to be clear, I'm happy with the one that I've got.
Okay,
Just
well,
the one that I have. She
is
absolutely a wonderful woman. Love her to death. She looks better than any of these women that you see in this photo.
I will give you that.
Oh my God, she's stunning.
Yeah,
so
stunning and brave.
Stunning, brave, just charismatic, and walks on her tiptoes all the time. And it's like, man, she makes these other women look like dogs.
You're backtracking, man. You're backtracking. It's all good. It's all good.
Crap.
Yeah.
I better get laid tonight.
Yeah, it'll be my fault. Yeah, listen, if that falls through for you, you come on over to my house. All right, I'll hook you up.
You know.
See what we can do. All right. Goalie from YouTube says the most offensive thing is that many people remain on Facebook and other big tech platforms to get fucked over and over and over. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why would you be sorry about that? But it has nothing to do with The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. So
what is the one just two above that? I'm offended by the idea of women are shamed for selling themselves unless it's for TV ratings.
Shamed for selling themselves unless it's for TV ratings. Interesting. I don't know.
What do we got to do to get ratings?
I don't know. OnlyFans is pretty big right now.
I mean, we do bathrobe editions for Valentine's Day, which is coming up.
Honestly, I'm quite shocked if there's not an ass that's twerking on TikTok that doesn't have a link tree that leads you directly to an OnlyFans page at this point.
You know, I got to be honest with you. My disconnect from social media right now, with the exception of being just strictly on Minds, has been amazing right now. It is just... It's like it's hard to explain.
So you left Facebook primarily. You actually
went through
and
deleted my account permanently after 12 years. And you see a lot of people on social media talk about, they complain all the time about censorship and people getting banned, the president getting, his Twitter account removed and all this and all that.
Right.
And you continuously keep hearing this, people just griping and bitching about being censored, but yet they never do anything about it and they still continue using that same platform that they're complaining about. And I said, you know what? I've been in that same position before. I've been that same person that would sit there and bitch about, being censored.
Right.
And I never did anything. So
just kept bitching.
I just kept bitching about it.
Doesn't
because
that drive you nuts? When you hear that from other people.
In my frame of mind, I kept thinking to myself, I know you liked that, didn't you?
I like that.
That little pun.
Thanks.
To me, it was always Twitter, it was Instagram, and it was Facebook. Those were your big three.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, I don't really want to open up another account. And this was a conversation that I had earlier, with Becky, and I explained to her, I said, the problem we're running into now is that there's so many different social media apps. Mm-hmm. There's so many different messaging apps. And you're trying to navigate your friends through these channels of where to go, and then not everybody's going to follow because they like one better than the other. Some people like Gab, some people like MeWe, some people like Parler, some people like Minds. Yeah. So you can't get everybody into one central location like you used to, because that's where we all migrated, was either to Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook.
Yeah.
But what we're seeing now is this uprising of smaller, alternative networks, and it's spread everybody out.
And they're promptly being shut down.
Right, which is good. But what led to my decision to go ahead and, not deactivate, but delete my account was I needed to stop being such a hypocrite and bitching about being censored while using the same platform that was doing that to me. Yeah. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and back up all my files, my videos, my photos, and just walk away from Facebook. I don't think people really understand how much control that social media platform has, a grip on your jugular when it comes to things that you just, it's like a drug. We've often talked about that, and it's just, you got to break that habit of getting that needle out of your arm, that is Facebook.
And the way that they block you, it's not like they just straight up shut down your account. They'll give you this little 30-day, hit on the wrist, or they'll take away some functionality or something like that. And it kind of reminds me, again, I keep comparing it to a bad relationship that you stick around for just because the sex is good.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of somebody that, like Facebook will sit there and just slap you right in the face. And you'll start crying and breaking down, and then the Facebook will be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Come on back.
They have a way.
Come see what we got."
They have this way of keeping you, like, on the short leash.
Yeah.
They get you far enough out there to where you're just like, I've had enough. They reel you back in.
And did you ever notice? And I know they control the algorithm, so people see what they want to see.
Right.
But have you ever noticed that your welcome back posts, like after you've been banned for 30 days? Gets a lot of interaction. There's a lot of good feeling that comes with that.
It's almost like
it's hitting that good feeling sensation, like, oh,
right.
Cool, wow, people missed me.
The way I can kind of describe it is, you remember when you were a kid and you got grounded?
Yeah.
And you couldn't see your friends, you couldn't use this, the phone. This was back before cell phones. God, I'm old. Actually not that old, but you have this like this sense of you've lost all touch with the reality. you have no contact with your friends, no way, shape, or form, because you're in your room, you're grounded.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you're like counting down to those days of coming out of your room and being able to go outside and play with your friends and pick up the phone and make plans to go places, and it's just like. Have people ever thought about it? I mean, Facebook is like your parent. They're just grounding you, and then you got to stick it out until the end of the groundation, and then it's just like, okay, yay, I'm out. And then, of course, you get a lot of people that get on there, and they're just bragging about it. And I'm like, this is childish, man. Come on. This has gotten a bit too much for me. But no, I went ahead and permanently deleted my account. Actually, I went a step further, and I've deleted now Telegram. I have deleted now Discord.
Yeah.
I've deleted Instagram.
I'm really upset with you about Discord because I need you over there, buddy.
I know you
That's
do,
our,
but
that's our Unframed Mind community.
Here's
I
the
need you
thing,
there.
though. Here's the thing, though, is that this has made my life so much simpler, and I've had more time to focus on doing a lot of editing for the show. I've been putting out a lot of content, which is good because it keeps me focused, and I'm not constantly getting these notifications from Facebook. Now, I have become recently very active on Minds. I've been on there for a while. But after we've talked to Bill Ottman and we've better understood his platform and the direction in which he's going, I am super stoked about that. This is one social media platform that I will keep pushing for him because we're friends with him. We've gotten a chance to get to know the man. He's a really good guy, and he's really passionate about what he's doing and what he's developing. So, but yeah, no, it's been just a nice little walk in the park. You know, it's like hearing the birds chirp and sitting outside and your phone's not going off.
I'll tell you what, if you're concerned about phone notifications and just get back on Discord, we can turn off all of the notifications except for the admin channel that I need to communicate with you through.
There's text messages, man.
But that's not part of it. That's not, I don't.
And here's the other thing, too.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
I do a lot of the sharing before the show, which takes a lot, alleviates a lot of what you've got to do because you got a million other things to do before we go live or even do pre-records. But, there's a lot going on in the world. And I think sometimes it's kind of nice to take a break, kind of take a step back and breathe a little bit because.
And then kind of reintegrate slowly.
Yeah.
As you're
I think that's
ready.
a healthy process for a lot of us. And I think that's what we need to do. And what I've been doing here lately, especially over on Minds on my news feed, I've been posting more things that are not so much political because after a while, when you start to get integrated with that, it becomes depressing. And I'm just not feeling it right now.
Yeah.
So
no, I get it.
I'm posting pictures of ducks that come into my home and want to eat food.
So before we move into the main topics tonight, I did want to point out this article. I was trying to feign that I was offended by The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that somebody's already offended by The Bachelor because it turns women into misogynists, apparently. Somebody beat me to this back in 2016.
Well, you're out of a job. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I know. I can't. Man, I'm such an old. Anyway, Channel 10 is currently screaming Australia's fourth season of the reality TV program The Bachelor, a franchise important. Okay, so the audience are encouraged to embrace traditional romance narratives, overlooking same-sex or bisexual relationships. I was kidding when I said this, by the way. But somebody was already offended by this. But what's most disturbing about The Bachelor is the way it drives women to undermine one another. Dude, what the fuck?
What
was that parrot? What was that parrot? What the fuck? Women already do this.
I know.
This is women's game.
I just love how these articles paint it out like this has never happened before in human life.
This is a game as old as time.
I know.
That's what. Oh my. Oh Jesus.
It is what it is.
So frustrating.
So.
It's hilarious.
But
unlike a Cinderella or a Snow White fairy tale, the romance isn't limited to two lovers of the opposite sex, but manifests in a bevy of perfectly sculpted women battling for the affections of a single man. This is heterosexual love as virtual blood sport.
Jesus. All right, guys, before we get kind of into this dumpster fire, if you would do us a fantastic favor, share this video out. We are trying to hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. We are currently just 8 subs away from hitting that 1,000 mark. So if you guys can, just click the little notification bell and sub to us. And
from the comments, I got rid of everything. Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, Telegram, no need for Parler. And someone else says this is the American culture, and it is very different and experimental, but that is what freedom is, even though there are oppressive shows like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
At least we have free speech to discuss it. Austin says that was intense. Yeah, I guess so. Very intense. Hey, Lady Della shouted us out on Unsafe Space today. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you for that. Much appreciation. We're actually Daniel has been doing a lot of grunt work with getting on other shows right now, so he's been busy doing that. I've got a show that I've got to get lined up to get on, and then possibly one up in Clarksville, and I've got to talk to you a little bit more about that. But that's actually a syndicated broadcast. If we can get things worked out on that, we'll be heard just more than the local area. So that'll be good. So, big things coming. We had a great interview with Mr. Bill Ottman from Minds. If you haven't already seen that, just go over and check that out later after the show tonight. And he just kind of gives you a quick update on what's going on with Minds Plus, Messenger, and the future. That will be live streaming on Minds, which will be a huge thing for us. So if you get a chance, check that out.
We got Rico's tinfoil sombrero. He's changed his name. He says, I'm all over social media, even independent sites. None of it is needed. That's
Hey,
hilarious.
Phil, it's good to see you. Daniel, I
All
think
right.
this is the first time I haven't seen you with a hat. This is true. No, you usually got a hat or a toboggan of some sort on.
Yeah, usually.
Looks weird.
I know. Get over it.
You're still pretty.
I'm so pretty.
I know. It's so pretty.
It's the
so pretty.
It's the beard.
All right, let's get into this
All right.
shitstorm that is
So-
Twitter.
Well, yeah. So check this
Yeah.
out. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, and I think a lot of you have, is Project Veritas caught Jack Dorsey on video saying some pretty insidious shit about his company, and this is after there was a huge interview that he had with, I think it was Tim Pool and Joe Rogan
Yeah.
a couple years ago, maybe.
Yep.
And he was like, yeah, we're all about free speech. I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do none of that. He was sounding all innocent. And then you hear this and you're like, oh, he's fucking Hillary Clinton with a public opinion and a private opinion. And he's not like, wow, no consistency in this guy. Anyway, I want to play a small clip from that just to update anyone who has not yet seen that. So
Yeah. Take a look at this.
Another thing, just to close out a little bit, we are focused on one account right now, but this is going to be much bigger than just one account, and it's going to go on for much longer than just this day, this week, the next few weeks. It's going to go on beyond the inauguration. We have to expect that. We have to be ready for that. So the focus is certainly on this account and how it ties to real-world violence, but also we need to think much longer term around how these dynamics play out over time. I don't believe this is going away anytime soon, and the moves that we're making today around QAnon, for instance, is one such example of a much broader approach that we should be looking at and going deeper on. So the team has a lot of work and a lot of focus on this particular issue, but we also need to give them the space and the support to focus on the much bigger picture, because it is not going away.
all right. So basically, this recording from
Project
picking up on the
Veritas.
from picking up on the context, the video recording itself had to have come from a few months back,
Right.
because I do remember a huge purge of QAnon supporters. This wasn't recorded, right before Donald Trump was blocked. This was a few months back.
Right.
But now we've seen, of course, the Donald Trump or the real Donald Trump is gone. A lot of, what was it, 70,000?
70,000 people were purged off of Twitter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's not including everybody that's been shadow banned or not mentioned or not counted.
Well,
That's not including all the people that, as soon as they saw Donald Trump blocked, they went ahead and just
they had
left.
exit as well. Yeah. So here's what's concerning for me, and this is something I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
What really kind of surprises me is that they're going after Donald Trump, they're going after conservatives, they're going after QAnon, but where are they at? Where is their position on going after people that support Antifa? That are actually calling for
right,
violence.
right.
These are posts that I am finding on Twitter that are staying up, that are not being reported. What?
I'll tell you what. I was listening to, what's his name? The guy that created Dilbert. The guy.
I don't know.
What's his? Oh, God dang it! I'm brain farting on his name right now.
I guess. Well, my point is though is why is this? I mean, we always knew that Twitter, most social media companies, especially out in Silicon Valley, are very far to the, to the left, and for the fact that he's not doing anything about Antifa, but he's just gunning after Trump. He's gunning after QAnon. He's gunning after conservatives. That doesn't send a very good message. And for the fact that, and something that Bill Ottman kind of brought up was that, after Parler was removed as the #1 app in the App Store, Signal was on there.
Yep.
And he had tweeted a photo with a heart next to it, and supporting Signal. It's just, you had to know what was in play here. And he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He ain't stupid.
No, he's not stupid. And what kind of surprises me is like him and Zuckerberg were just in front of Congress just a couple months back talking about 230. And everybody was drilling him in front of Congress. And it's like, they were kind of there for the dog and pony show. And I've always told people, to me, it's just an act. I don't think government's going to do anything about 230. I don't think that they're going to do anything about these social media sites.
No, because they're basically
they're too far deep in their pockets. Look at Biden's cabinet he's got set up. Look at the people that he's got ties to big tech.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to end? It's only going to get worse. You would be naive and remiss to think that it's not.
I have no idea who he's got. I don't really care.
You ought to look it up. It's
I know. I could care less.
Yeah.
But Scott Adams, thank you, Lady Della, for reminding me. Scott Adams, I was listening to him earlier today, and he was bringing up the point. Republicans are very, very principled in general, and they tend to call on
most of us. Yes.
Well, they tend to call upon hypocrisy and point out, hey, why do you get away with it, but I don't get away with it? How come there's rules for you?
That's politics in general. I don't.
But what he was saying is, yeah, you can call it out all day long, but in the past, how often has that actually worked? Never. It does not work. They do not care. They know they're hypocritical. They don't care. They have a specific direction they're going, and they're going to go there come hell or high water. What did they say? By any means necessary?
By any means necessary.
So if that means, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and be a hypocrite, but, they're smart enough to call right-wing people on their principles and morals, and they'll hold them to them.
Right.
That is a by any means necessary strategy for getting shit done. So it does you no good to turn around and call people on their hypocrisy. It does zero good at all.
I think, I call Jack Dorsey the twit from Twitter is what I call him. I nickname him that. Because I think the guy's disgusting. I think he's borderline evil in what he's doing. But at the same sense too, I can't say that it's all his fault. It's a lot of the people that work under him. I mean, he's just the CEO of the company, but you've also got a lot of people that are under you that are making moves that maybe he's not even aware of, but his intent is obviously there to hurt and to censor a demographic of people.
Well, before I saw that video, I kind of had the feeling like, well, yeah, he's the CEO, but how much is he participating in the day-to-day? I kind of thought, okay, maybe he's not as in control and maybe he really doesn't. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Not after that video.
But after you see that, you're like, man, this guy has got his sleeves.
He's a douchebag.
He's got his sleeves rolled up. He's in the middle of it all.
And for anybody that watches this or has seen the video from Project Veritas, I would suggest you delete your Twitter account and just get off that site. I'm telling you, it's gotten bad. So, but what kind of it is interesting is the story that Twitter had posted on its actual news feed.
Yeah, that's what we're getting to right now. So basically,
check this out.
Conservative hating Twitter complains about censorship.
Scroll over on the bottom
in Africa. I can't scroll over. I've got my
Okay.
screen. I've got my screen to the wrong size.
No, that's fine.
from when we were doing the video with another guest, and I did not change it back.
Okay.
But y'all have to deal with me. Anyway, the right-wing hating, information-controlling executives at Twitter have accomplished a new feat, publicly shaming the nation of Uganda. Uganda? Which was it? Which is it? Uganda?
Uganda.
We'll go with that. Uganda. For censoring information during a contentious election. So the head-turning post, which I will bring up here in just a moment, which was published Tuesday by the corporation's public policy team, comes after reports internet service providers are being ordered to block social media and messaging apps. Now, check this shit out, guys. Oh boy, I put him in the wrong order because I'm a dumbass. All right, so Twitter's public policy says ahead of the Ugandan election, we're hearing reports that internet service providers are being ordered to block social media and messaging apps. We strongly condemn internet shutdowns. They are hugely harmful, violate basic human rights and the principles of the hashtag open internet.
What does that sound like?
Interesting. I mean, that's very wow. Twitter, like how it almost makes you wonder if maybe there is this just huge ass fractured company with many different players doing whatever the hell they feel like needs to be done.
Do you think Twitter is going to recover from this?
Twitter, I don't think so, man. Because I think honestly, from what I understood, Twitter was already going down the shithole before Trump became president.
Yeah, I was checking the stocks on it the other day.
A lot of sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of I was slightly changing the subject, but a lot of news networks as well were only hanging on by a thread until Trump came along, and they could have some kind of hate articles to write all the time.
Yeah.
So you were checking the
I was checking stocks the other day, and I just kind of watch the market every once in a while, and I happened to notice what Amazon and Twitter and Facebook were doing. Now, this was, I think, about 2 or 3 days ago. And, yeah, they were tanking pretty good. I mean, it wasn't much. You're looking at about $5-6 that they were losing and in closing out the day after hours, about $1 or $2 up. But, yeah, this is something that I don't know if, Twitter has now been branded, the extreme far left for basically being a hub for Antifa is what they are. And it's getting worse. You have a lot of people that do enjoy Twitter that really don't want to get so much into the politics, but then you kind of get roped into it because of your feed. And what's that? Go ahead.
I just realized something.
What?
I was reading this second tweet under that, and
I can't see. I'm too far from the monitor.
Let me help you out there, bud. I'll be a doll and I'll blow it up for you. How about that?
Yeah.
Can you read that? So it says, earlier this week, in close coordination with our peers, we suspended a number of accounts targeting the election in Uganda. If we can contribute any of this activity to state-backed actors, we will disclose our archive of information operations. Now, the thing that stood out to me when I read this is in close coordination with our peers.
Uh-huh.
And we've seen this happen time and time again with Alex Jones, with Donald Trump, and a number of other players where their peers are these other social media companies. They're Google, they're Facebook, they're Instagram, they're all these companies all at the same time coordinating with each other to actively suppress voices. And it's kind of bullshit. And I'm sitting there looking at this. I'm like, these guys are publicly announcing that we are interfering in the Ugandan.
This is the same thing we have blamed other countries
elections.
for doing.
This is what we had to hear for 4 goddamn years about Russian interference, Chinese hackers interference, and whatever the country of choice.
Now it's
at the
Italy
time.
is interfered, and I mean,
and here's Twitter publicly announcing in a tweet, completely tone deaf to everything that's going on. Or no, it's not even tone deaf. I think it goes back to pointing out the hypocrisy.
Yes.
And this is the hypocrisy that they don't care by any means necessary. They know that they're not stupid. They know they're doing.
They are stupid.
No, they know what they're doing. Though.
Well, no, I shouldn't say.
Working.
No, I shouldn't say that they're stupid. They're users, people that aren't. I mean, they're so. I wouldn't call it brainwashed. I think that they're just so in love with the social media platform. They're willing to look past things like this and see what's going on here. Like, how can you not see what this looks like? This is what I can't wrap my head around. People are that far gone in their mental capacity that they're not. They just don't have the time to sit here and process what's going on.
Now, ironically,
you're looking for that instant reaction, that instant, retweet or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what people are wanting. There's no
it
logic
feels
to
good.
any thought.
It feels good.
You wanted to be the next person that gets the most retweets or likes or comments, whatever, and that's all people care about. And it's this is why I've gotten away from social media.
So, Goalie Tennyson on YouTube says you guys need to figure out how to get off YouTube, and I 100% agree. We're looking at other options. There's a number of
this has not been easy for us.
There's been a number of options as far as live streaming goes. I mean, we've got other options as far as like BitChute. We can any video I upload to YouTube goes automatically to BitChute and a number of. We are on DLive, DLive.tv, I think is what it's called. We're on Twitch, which is not the best for this particular format, but we're also looking at Minds will be eventually going to a live stream thing, and I think Rumble as well is going to be doing a live streaming thing.
I haven't heard anything about Rumble.
Anyway, there's
well, the point is that
there's a number of other places, but the problem is if there's not people there to see it,
Why do it? Again, this falls back to
Right.
the beginning of the conversation. There's so many platforms now.
Yeah.
Everybody's so spread out. And to build that audience or have everybody go to a specific, place again, it's not possible. So something I was listening to earlier today was Tim Pool was talking about just uploading everything to his own personal website. He's got one place where it's all
Yep.
going to happen.
Yep.
And I'm thinking maybe that may not be a bad idea for us.
We have that essentially.
We're set up kind of in that capacity.
we do
are
have a
we not?
website. Yeah, we do have a website.
No, I mean as
and
far as
everything.
doing live streams and
I can set it up that way, yes, and I did have it set up that way, but nobody goes to the website to watch, so I used that real estate for other things.
but we're not the only ones struggling with this situation right now. I mean, Tim Pool's
Yep.
in the same boat because he's just been demonetized over on Facebook
Yep.
because he covered what happened on
Yep.
January 6th up
Yep.
at the Capitol.
Yep.
So just don't. It's not just us, folks. It's everybody right now. If you're not sitting at the top of this, social media platform
And-
or news media outlets, we're struggling. So the best thing we're telling people to do is sign up. Go to our website, unframeofmind.com. Just sign up with an email. We're not going to send you a bunch of shit. We're only going to send you out things that we feel like are necessary for you to know about. Support and donate. I mean, this is, man, I hope channels like us can survive this.
I know
that's
it.
all.
So I did want to point out this article back in November 30th of 2020. Censorship or conspiracy theory? Trump supporters say Facebook and Twitter censor them, but conservatives still rule social media.
Yeah.
And in the article, they say researchers say this. Sorry, this is from SavannahHow.com. I don't know, but it was just an article that pulled up that kind of pointed to what we're discussing tonight. It says researchers say they found no evidence to support GOP grievances that the nation's leading social media companies squelch conservative voices.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting that you need studies or you need some kind of like court evidence or something like that. Like, dude, the evidence is all over the place.
Do you
And
remember?
if you don't want to see it, you won't see it.
Do you remember?
Sorry, let me finish this line here.
I'm sorry,
The
okay.
quote goes, I know of no academic research that concludes there is a systematic bias, liberal or conservative. Like, that's your bar for, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here, but that's what's required
Yeah.
for the proof to be there, for the evidence, you need a research study that's been done, peer reviewed. You need multiple meta analysis to go on to make the determination that it turns out in fact conservatives are being what
To me, I'm going to be honest with you, man. None of this shit matters to me. Like, this serves no relevant purpose in my social media experience
yeah.
and what's going on. All I know is you don't have to have a half a brain to figure out what Facebook and Twitter
Yeah,
are doing is absolutely
it's
wrong and immoral. But here's the kicker, though. I remember a show we did not too long ago, and I specifically told people Facebook has been at the top of this mountain, and at some point, Facebook and Twitter, it was going to start coming back down. The playing field is starting to level out just a little bit, not much, but just a little, and it's enough to get people's attention. It's enough for people to see, oh, hey, there's other things out here. There's other options for me. Now, it is good to be on different social media platforms, but the problem I'm running into is that I've got friends all over the place now.
Right.
So it's kind of chaotic. It
is chaos. And order will come out of chaos eventually, especially as people learn how to navigate these things and figure out a way to make it part of their life, but not their life.
But what we're seeing though is we're starting, like I said, we're seeing that playing field start to level out just a little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit at a time.
I'm kind of okay with the decentralization of it all, though. I know
I'm loving this.
I know somebody mentioned in the comments that we all need to agree on one single place, and somebody else actually agreed with that. But it's like, no, because look what's happened in the past when we all agreed on one place. It was very easily co-opted by people who really have a thirst for power and control, and they did exactly what they're doing. What's power corrupts.
But it makes me wonder
You know?
if Dorsey and Zuckerberg are sweating right now. They got to be sweating because they've been sitting at the top of this mountain for so long, and nobody has been close, with maybe the exception of Gab, but nobody has been within reach. Now,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, we're seeing this tilt. We are living in a time that will be documented in our history books when it comes to, the technology age. we're seeing this shift. You may not see it right now. At some point, like it may look a little foggy, but when we look back 5 years from now, this is going to be a completely different ball game.
Yeah,
I'm
I
telling
think so.
you, you're going to see the rise of a lot more social media companies, and that's what we should see. I really do believe that. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting, man. It's fun. It's fun times to be living in, but it's also difficult times because of other stuff going on. You know, obviously with social issues.
Right.
But
So speaking of the rise and fall of different social media companies, right now we're all aware of what's going on with Parler right now.
that's not how you say
Parlay.
it. Parlay.
Sorry, it's
The
Parlay.
correct
Guys, I need y'all to
definition
understand
for
this.
is parlay.
Parlay.
It's not parlay.
It's originally a French company. It's
Yes.
pronounced Parlay, and I know all you damn Americans keep pronouncing it Parlor because y'all just like to read things phonetically, and that's okay. I don't hold it against you, but y'all just need to get with the program, okay? Get with the program. All right. Sorry. Where were we? So Parler.
Parler.
So
Parlay.
in the midst of all this, yeah. Parlay ends up suing Amazon over the web shutdown.
Right.
Alleges political animus.
Yeah.
And this article comes from Reuters. Parlay LLC, a social media platform favored by many supporters of U.S. President Donald Trump, sued Amazon.com Inc. on Monday, accusing it of making an illegal, politically motivated decision to shut it down to benefit Twitter. In an antitrust complaint filed with the U.S. District Court in Seattle, Parlay said Amazon delivered a death blow by abruptly cutting off web hosting services on Sunday night. Soon after, Apple and Alphabet, which is Google's company, removed Parlay app from their own app stores. Again, a coordinated effort by trillion-dollar companies against this threat to their monopoly on social media. So they accused Amazon Web Services of hypocrisy for expressing a lack of confidence it could properly police its platform, including by removing content encouraging violence. It said Amazon did this despite making no threats to suspend Twitter, where a recent top trending tweet demanded to, quote-unquote, hang Mike Pence,
Yep.
the U.S. vice president.
That's what I was talking about.
Hypocrisy.
That's what I was.
They
I was actually
don't
thinking
care.
about that when it was funny that you pulled it up in the same article. But this is what I'm talking about. People have got to wake up to see what's going on here, and you know, it's just. I
They don't-
really want to
it-
do a show about how do we get past this bullshit.
Look,
Like,
there's no
how do
law
we-
against hypocrisy.
no, there's not.
Okay? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Parlay has no legs to stand on in this case. I don't think. I'm not a legal expert, but if your term, I do agree that if your terms of service say a certain thing and you're complying with those terms of service, and they shut you down for, maybe part of the terms of service where they don't have to work with them, a right to work kind of thing,
Well-
where they can shut them down for any and no reason.
Well, here's my rebuttal to that.
Yeah.
Facebook and Twitter are both responsible for what happened, January 6th. And I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
Because they are a platform that is designed for groups to be able to coordinate and do the things that they want to do. This has been proven time and time again. I can actually vouch for this. For a specific
Right.
group of individuals that I was a part of
You're asking
that had a
left-wing
group.
companies to stick with a certain consistency and
I don't
logic.
want to hear this bullshit where this was just, the Parler's fault, because it wasn't. I think every social media company had a hand, some way, shape, or form, on what happened January 6th. I have a hard time believing that it's just one app. I can't buy that. I cannot buy into that. I just can't.
No, it's not. It's all politically motivated,
Yeah.
and again, there's no law against doing things that are politically motivated.
But I've talked about this before. In the groups that I've been in, you talk in code. There are ways to get around the system. And if you think that there's not, you probably just don't need to be on social media.
Yeah, right. And when people talk, people talk about like the Pizzagate crap, when they're talking about all the code that they talk in,
Yeah.
it's like, we know this.
Yeah,
we know this.
So please don't sit there and think that this was all Parler's fault, because I just, me personally, I can't believe it. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are on that, but it does bring up an interesting conversation, because then how do you hold Facebook and Twitter accountable for stuff like this? They're willing to completely dismantle Parler, but yet nothing's been done to Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
When Twitter has actually had posts such as wanting to hang Mike Pence, and it's not taken down. Like, what? I'm just.
Yeah, I
don't
want
know, man.
now this
I
one
can't
here,
figure this out.
this article here from Business 2. It's a article by Jeffrey Gabriel, I guess his name, January 14th, yesterday. he was writing about Parlay moving domain registrar amid maelstrom of Capitol riots, AWS, Google app takedowns in the report. So here's what I wanted to point out in this particular article. This is just some shitty writing, if you ask me. The Parlay situation is a replay of what happened to Gab.com, which Wikipedia dubs as a, quote, American alt-tech social networking service known for its far-right and extremist user base, and which, quote, has been described as a haven for extremists, including neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and the alt-right.
But you know what's funny? You make that same claim about Twitter being, far left.
Mm-hmm.
You're a racist. You're a Nazi.
Yeah, well, you see what the problem is with this? This guy's doing like a reporting an article, and he's quoting Wikipedia.
That is the worst place
Like
you can ever quote.
Okay, so if you've
That is
ever
horrible.
there was a recent episode of the Bad Crypto podcast where they're talking to one of the guys that used to he's actually one of the guys that started Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how that place has become such a left-wing cesspool of people just coming in and mobbing and controlling and everything else, and it's like he ended up quitting because he just couldn't deal with the crap anymore. He started his own thing that's cryptocurrency based. And oh, go ahead.
Do you remember a show we did not too long ago where we talk about segregation? It wasn't going to be racial segregation.
Yeah.
It was going to be political and ideology.
Ideological segregation.
Yeah.
Right.
We it's like
Yep.
we're not fortune tellers. We're kind of like not even mind readers. What the hell? What am I looking for here? Prophets maybe.
Oh, I guess I was incorrect in that Parlay was a French company, but it's an American company. I guess this is from the comments, so it could be correct, could be not correct. But the name is pronounced as the French verb to speak or to say, which is parlay. Oh my God. I make it a point to teach my students that Wikipedia is not a reliable source. Yeah, exactly. Like anybody that's even taken, a high school course, a beginner level college course, like that's like number one. Like every professor will say, "Hey, don't use Wikipedia," because everybody thinks Wikipedia is a reliable source, and that's like I can always tell when somebody is getting ready to fill me full of bullshit when they pull quotes from Wikipedia. Like as soon as I see that, I disregard I disregard everything else in the article from that point forward.
Not even worth the time at that point.
It's like you have a specific view that you're trying to write about, and that's it. All right, so right, how are we doing on time? We're doing good.
Parler's out of the way.
Not yet.
Well,
not
no,
yet.
They're out of the way at the moment.
Not yet. No. Well, they will be coming back. Parlay will be coming back, but the topic at hand is not out of the way.
No.
So this article from Vice recently came out. Every video ever posted to Parlay is now available to download. Terabytes of video, including from the Capitol Hill riots, have been made available as torrent files that anyone can download. Did Parlay do this? No, Parlay did not do this. This is not their move. This is from somebody that I guess they had somebody hack the system or what have you.
Yeah.
And every video ever posted to Parlay is now available on a series of torrents that anyone can download. The videos, which make up terabytes of data, are being seeded and combed through by archivists and data hoarders.
I'm trying to think of what I had on Parler.
A hacker archived more than 56 terabytes of data pulled from the far-right social media site. I love reading Vice articles, man. They're so
Vice is
they're so one-sided.
I don't know. They did a pretty good job of Enrique Tarria. Well, not a really good job, but I mean, it wasn't too bad.
They're pretty biased.
I know they are.
And now every video captured in that archive is available at BitTorrent for anyone to download and watch. Which, I mean, it's not the end of the world, I don't think, because these, if you're posting videos to Parlay, you meant them to be public anyway. So I don't know. I mean, even if you're quote unquote hacking or what have you, from what I understand from official word from Parlay is that whatever they did hack was all public stuff anyway. It wasn't anything that was private information.
Well, like Ottman said, they had ignored their servers for some time.
Yeah.
Why they weren't dealing with it, we may never know. I don't know what was going on with that. That's kind of weird. So, man, this is just.
Yeah, and it gets better.
Of course it does.
It gets better. So, I'm telling you, every topic I had tonight flowed right into the next one. So
I know it did.
I posted a message the other day. You want to hear something hilarious and terrifying? Is that the party of quote unquote defund the police is the same party who's spending countless hours obsessing over footage and photos of the Capitol protests and falling over themselves to tag Trump supporters to the FBI. Hilarious. Again, pointing out the hypocrisy,
And did you also notice too that Cuomo up there?
which will do no good. I'm only speaking to one particular audience, and I know this. But it gets better.
I know.
It gets better. So with that being said, I saw this at the bottom of that other Vice article. The developer Developer makes interactive map of parlay videos from Capitol Hill riots. And
saw this too.
if you look at this, there's like they're
Where are you at?
okay on this.
Can you find yourself
yeah,
on there?
on this map, I'm about here or so on the back steps, or I'm taking a piss over here because, my God, I'm telling you, that was the most glorious piss I've ever taken in my life.
I bet with no porta potties.
No, there was porta potties.
Yeah, the lines were probably longer than hell.
There was a few, and I heard that the mayor had removed a bunch of them.
Why?
You know why?
I know why. I know.
But
Starting to
there
turn
was
into
only a few, and there was so many people at them lines, and I'm like, I need to be in the action.
Just do like what they do in California and get that shit all over the ground. I mean, they ain't gonna care.
I found a nice little spot. Somehow there was no people there, and I took the most because I had not taken a piss since I left the bus at 5 o'clock that morning, and this was roughly 1:30 in the afternoon. Oh my God! And it was like 3 coffees later with nothing to eat. I'm telling you, the most glorious piss I've ever taken in my entire life, ever. It was so great.
I'm glad that everybody
That
got
was-
to partake in your glorious piss up at the Capitol.
I know this is one of those fun details that you don't get to hear about anywhere
No,
else.
you don't.
All right, so yeah, that was fun. This guy creates interactive map. Like, holy crap, how obsessive do you have to be to create an interactive map from all the videos so you can find all the individual players? Like, they are really trying hard to find
Yes.
anybody who was involved. I'm surprised if I will honestly be surprised if I don't get a visit from the FBI at some point. Honestly. And I didn't do anything except walk around the steps and kind of video everything.
You got a lot of video though. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, and I posted it. It's there. I'm not ashamed of it.
We don't keep anything from the public. We never will, and we're not going to take things down either. You know, we're not threatened by the FBI. We don't give a shit. If they want to pull the plug on us, they'll do it. They did it once before when we had Enrique Tarrio on the show. God, we got wiped out everywhere because of that. But we're not going to sit here and be bullied. Not by government, not by the FBI, not by anybody. You know what? If they want to come and take the shit, take the shit.
This is the most important comment of tonight.
boy.
Austin from YouTube says peeing in public is an art.
Yes, it is.
It is. It is.
Well, okay.
Well done, Austin. Well done.
Oh.
What are we going to send him?
I had something I wanted to bring up earlier, and I done forgot.
Oh, it's all right.
I hate it when I shit.
Was it really important?
Actually, it was, but whatever.
All right. So
Other shows, another day. Yeah.
now, as we continue along our stream of consciousness, I wanted to point.
There is none.
I wanted to point out.
No.
See, that was a pun.
No.
That was a peeing pun.
I know it was.
And it was a fun one. If anybody caught it, thank you. If you didn't,
I need more dad jokes in
up.
my life from you right now.
I've got plenty. I've got them all.
Give
day,
me one.
I've got them all day long.
Give me one.
I don't have dad jokes. I've got more like puns.
No, I need a dad joke. I need a horrible dad joke.
A horrible dad joke?
There's so much shit going on in the world right now. I just need a simple dad joke.
I don't have one off the top of my head, but let's ask the
I need
audience to see
simple
what they
things
come
in
up
life,
with. If you got a
folks.
good dad
That's it.
joke,
Simple jokes.
okay. Silly redhead asks me to tell this one, Sarah. So you remember this one?
I know this one quite well. Go ahead.
What do you call a moist fart?
What, Daniel? Tell me.
I didn't finish.
I know, but I'm just excited. Go ahead.
What do you call a moist fart at 6 a.m.?
Oh my God! What, Daniel?
Morning doo-doo.
Oh my God!
I love it. It's still a good one. That's a
Never
good
gets
one.
old.
I don't care who you
Never
are.
gets old.
Yep. You need to slap your leg one more time. Knee slap. Thanks. Appreciate
Sound
that, man.
effects for later.
Wow. Wow. So, again, as we continue through our stream of consciousness here about everything been going on, now we're going to focus in on the Capitol, the storming of the Capitol and everything that surrounded that.
Do it again. Do it on the inauguration day.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? Do what again?
Storm the Capitol.
Storm the Capitol again?
Fucking storm the inauguration. Yes, just everybody show up and just
Jesus.
throw blows.
Have you seen what they've done since
I'm going to
then?
get us pulled off of
They've-
every channel.
They've already put up
They're going to
like,
get us for inciting violence.
they've
at
already
this
put
point.
up like a 7 foot tall or something perimeter fence all around. They're calling in like, what is it, 25,000 National Guard. They've got so much security there now because they are legit scared. They're afraid.
We got enough Mexicans locked up somewhere. Go get the cartel. Shit, bring everybody.
Oh, boy. Let's just make it a good old happy party. And the fact that the Mexican president is standing up for Donald Trump in terms of the tech censorship.
Man, nothing
This
makes
is-
sense
I'm
anymore.
like, what-
This world is like completely just flipped its shit.
I
nothing
think
adds up. Nothing makes sense. I don't care
know.
anymore. Good night, folks. We're done.
I think he's just trying to convince Trump that, hey, I didn't pay for the wall like you thought I was going to do, but I got your back, buddy. This is ridiculous.
I just can't make heads or tails of anything anymore, to be honest with
So
you, folks.
I do want to point to the increase in rhetoric from the news stations.
Yeah.
And there's 3 examples that I brought up. First one comes from it comes from Washington Post on the actual day of the Capitol building, the storming of the Capitol building.
Right.
And the Capitol of let me hit the button. Okay,
You
so
all right over there?
Yep, I'm good. So Jeremy Barr and Paul Fari, I guess, I don't know,
Okay.
January 6th, they write this article on the actual day. This is a few hours after the event happened. And they say that what began as a Trump-orchestrated stagecraft quickly turned into a mob action that had TV commentators grasping for ever more extreme adjectives, such as insurrection or anarchism or domestic terrorism. And the headline on this article is, how the mob takeover of the Capitol unfolded.
Right.
Okay, so day 0, really, how the mob takeover of the Capitol unfolded. That's how this is being written about. Okay, this is a mainstream news source, Washington Post, and this is what they write. So we move to January 8th, and January 8th, I believe this was around 18 seconds or so. Let's play this here.
That have been handed down in connection to the deadly siege that left multiple people
The
dead.
hell is she
including-
wearing?
So did you just hear what she said? The deadly siege that left multiple people dead. This was 2 days later. It has now gone from...
It went to a siege?
Yeah. It went from
Did I
a
say
mob...
that right? I don't think so.
Yeah. It goes from a mob takeover to a deadly siege with multiple dead. And I did find it interesting the way they keep talking about it is, the storming the Capitol, this siege, this deadly siege left people dead. It doesn't quite point out how they died or who died, or it makes it sound like Trump supporters were killing people.
I got a joke for you.
Mm.
What time did the man go to the dentist?
What time did the man go to the dentist?
2:30.
All right,
I
so
don't even get a rim shot on that one.
we're gonna go to
Fuck you,
we're gonna
dude.
go back to January 11th now. This
Okay.
is 11th, 5 days or so after the events, and that was CNN. The last piece called it a deadly siege who left multiple people dead. Now I had to pull this from the transcripts because I couldn't find the actual video of it, but what's his name? Chris Cuomo from CNN, and the only reason this whole topic came up in the first place is because I was at the hospital, and I was with my wife in the hospital, and I go down to get some coffee, and I noticed that CNN's playing on the TVs, and so I go and
That was your first mistake, was having CNN on the TV.
I stop and I look at CNN, and I hear this rhetoric coming out.
Why
I'm
did
like,
you even stop? I would have kept walking.
I was honestly, it's just I'm always curious. So I was like, I ain't watched CNN in a while. What the hell are they talking about? I've seen little flashes of the
It doesn't
Capitol,
take much to figure out what
Capitol
CNN's
riots,
discussing.
and oh my god, dude! Like I went on a Discord and I was talking to everybody. I'm like, has CNN always been this bad?
Oh
Or is
yeah, I
this just
saw that
recent?
on Minds, that post you made.
Right, or is it just
Yeah.
recent? And people are like, no, it's been
Been
that
that
bad.
way.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, holy crap! Because okay, listen to this. This is what I heard him say. Trumplicans are evil zealots. How do you pronounce that word? Zealots?
I have no idea.
Trumplicans are evil zealots, armed, prepared with Molotov cocktails and handcuffs.
What?
This is 5 days
Wait
after
a minute,
the
wait
event.
a minute. Whoa. So you mean to tell me they're going to write a piece about Trump supporters with Molotov cocktails, and yet it's mostly peaceful protest with an entire city burning behind one of their reporters?
Zealots.
That stems.
Thank you, zealots. Man, Lady Della,
That
we need to get you on the
stems.
show and just have you sit behind me for Fact checking and correcting.
A city that's on fire with a reporter from CNN saying it's a mostly peaceful protest. Yes, I just did the bunny ears. And the city's ablaze. And I don't. I'm
Again,
like living in the
you're
fucking
trying
Twilight Zone.
You're attempting to point out hypocrisy, and it does not work.
I mean, I understand what CNN's doing. They're obviously playing on people's emotions, and we get all that.
Yeah.
How do people on the left not see this?
So,
Where's the the piston in the brain that it's like misfiring somewhere? How do these people not figure this out? I really want to know this.
if you're
Daniel.
not taught to critically think,
No, I
You
want
can tell people anything you wanna tell
I really
them.
want to kind of get in depth on one of these nights on the shows. Is where is this spark just not just? There's something's not fusing somewhere, and people are not getting this. Why?
and here's the irony: people,
we're not
people who
Go
are
ahead.
deep in on the left, they think the same thing about you. There's something misfiring. They're idiots. How can they not see this?
Okay, whether it's
They
left or
don't
right.
get it.
Okay, whether it's left or right. Why?
That's just it. Left or right.
I'm
left or right.
willing to call
See-
out people on both sides.
No. Here's the thing. Fox News does the same shit.
I understand
just
that.
not the same way. So you get this divide, this
Right.
right left.
Yes.
This is what we've been talking about the whole time. And nobody even stops to think.
How do you even how as a society I'm kind of like
This
my
is-
words are all over the place.
This is why I'm an
How,
anarchist.
as as a society are we ever to move on from this, or we can unite? Because Biden's not going to unite the country.
No.
You got another fucking thing coming if you think that old man's going to unite anything. The only thing he's going to unite is his pills that he's got to take first thing in the morning, and then when he goes to bed at night, and maybe when he has to pee and his nuts are touching together. I don't know.
Now,
All I'm saying is that you.
let me show you this.
Oh,
Let me show you this.
it's fun.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is the rhetoric has been turned up, and they are now calling all Trumplicans evil zealots, armed, prepared with Molotov cocktails and handcuffs. Now, you know how many Molotov cocktails were there?
None.
None.
Here you felt a little bit vulnerable.
I don't want to watch that. An Alabama man had 11 Molotov cocktails ready to go at U.S. Capitol riot. Even this headline is
I
misleading.
like this man. 70-year-old Alabama man had 11 Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, when he was arrested
This
during the
dude-
breach at the riot at the Capitol on Wednesday. Sorry.
This dude's 70 years old. He's like, fuck it. I've had a good life. Let's go out with a bang.
Yeah,
I
but
I want a beer with
but
this dude.
even
I want
this
to buy him
on,
a beer.
on MSN.com. Even this headline is misrepresented. See, this is 11
I know,
Molotov
I'm just
cocktails.
playing off
Oh
of
no,
that.
you're fine. Was one guy had them.
70.
A
He's
7-year-old had
probably
11
had
of them.
2 hip
right?
replacements and you can't help but to laugh.
He's
at
probably
this dumb shit,
fought
man.
in Nam and everything. Trying to find it because they actually did put it in the article, but they bury the shit,
Yeah.
and it drives me nuts, man.
I love that image. I really wish that we would have occupied the Capitol.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I would have loved to have seen this go a lot further than what it did. Not when it comes to the death of people. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just talking about occupying the actual Capitol to make this a legitimate, okay, we've had enough kind of situation.
Here's the piece that's important for this. In a Department of Justice press call on Friday, prosecutors revealed authorities responding to a separate report of possible pipe bombs found in a pickup with Alabama plates. Okay, does that mean that they were there? Because there was no vehicles near the building. None.
I thought
They had
I
all the
saw
streets. They had all the streets closed.
I don't know.
So what it was, and original reports were saying that it was a vehicle that was near the Capitol. It wasn't in the Capitol, or it wasn't at the Capitol riots or anything like that. It was a truck that the guy had some Molotov cocktails ready to go in case some shit went down that they found. And what CNN and what Cuomo is doing, for example, is then turning that around. These 11 Molotov cocktails that were not even in anybody's possession at the time, turning around and making it sound like a bunch of Trump supporters showed up with Molotov cocktails, and we're just standing there using them, or what they up the rhetoric and take these little small examples of individual things that happened, and then they try to paint this picture like all of us did.
Okay, here's a perspective.
Yep.
What demographic of people or political party has ever shown up to a demonstration or protest without some sort of explosive device or firearm or some kind of weapon of choice? Do we need to go back and look at all the Antifa shit and the BLM things that have happened all over the US?
Now I wonder what's got to stop this train of thought, because if you're asking about the disconnect and the loss of truth,
Right.
You're asking about this disconnect, and you're
Yes.
asking, and I'm pointing out the hypocrisy, and pointing out the hypocrisy is
Right.
great for people who can think critically and
Right.
and care about that.
Yeah.
But how do we jump those tracks? Because I do it all the time.
That's what I'm trying.
You
this
do
is
it
what
all the time.
That's why I brought it up. That's why I'm playing this role as to we're kind of going back and forth.
Yeah.
Where is that fine line?
That's
Like
what
you said, where do
that's
we jump that
yeah,
track?
I don't know what that answer is. It's just something that's kind of
I
coming
was
to
kind of
mind over
hoping
the
you would
last.
have brought this up, and he did. So good catch on that. But
Right, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do we jump the tracks of that line of thinking that says that calling out our opponents on their hypocrisy is going to solve something or change something or have any impact whatsoever? Like, what do we got to do to change our thinking? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results.
right.
Yes, I was closing my eyes through that whole sentence because it was really coming to me there, and I had to think it through. It's something to ponder.
I am
honestly-
making you work for it tonight, aren't I?
Yeah, it really is something to ponder, and I'm open to ideas. And if anybody else has noticed this particular issue,
Yeah.
especially with people on the right who tend to be more principled, I just wonder what it's going to take, and if you do jump those tracks, what does that jumping of the tracks even look like?
Good
Do
question.
you? I have an idea, and it has a lot to do with ostracism. It has. I mean, because the left is great at this. They already do it anyway. They're going to ostracize you. They're going to kick you off social media. They're going to not talk to you. They're going to disown you as family
Right.
members.
So I mean, we know that about the left, but also the right does it as well towards the left. So there has got to be a fundamental starting point here of where a thought process can change, characters can change, and just we as people can change. What does that look like? Or does that even exist at this point? Have we just become a society that's so out of control, there is no more reset, there is no more starting point? Do we actually need to see some kind of uprising that puts this country on full tilt?
I don't know. I like what Austin's saying here in the comments here. He says they need us to disagree. We have to focus on a moral fiber.
Right.
We mostly agreed as human beings, and I've always maintained that most people are good and most people agree on most things. It's just the little things that, if I'm in control and if I'm in power, I'm going to highlight those little disagreements and make them much bigger than they actually are.
Okay, so do we go back to segregation of politics and ideologies and then slowly work our way back to the middle?
Yeah, I don't know how you even pull that off on.
We're doing it just fine on our own.
Yeah, we're doing. Yeah, we're doing.
I mean,
it's
look
like
at social media.
It's like the social media version of the lunchroom test, where we're all kind of separating ourselves.
But we've been doing it our entire.
Yeah.
We are tribal by nature. Everybody knows this, right?
Yeah.
So if we're tribal by nature, we're the same way with politics. We're always going to be this way. So to me, just kind of thinking off my feet, or just thinking on my feet right now. Well, I'm sitting down, but
thinking on your ass.
Yeah, there you go. What if this isn't a bad idea? What if this is what the country needs right now, is that we need to segregate ourselves from the two political parties, reset, let the tensions kind of calm down. I now just hear me out. I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't even know how you structure this. But what if in some way, capacity, we just, it's kind of like a boxing match. You go back to your corner. I'm going to go back to my corner. I'm going to take 2 minutes to get rested up, calm myself down, and then you know what? We'll come back out into the middle and we'll meet again. That, to me, just thinking off the top of my head, this is the only thing I can think of right now that might be a solution to what we're currently seeing in our world, because nothing else is working. I'm not seeing anything else. Nobody has given us any ideas of what we can do to calm tensions, because that's what we hear from your politicians. That's what you hear from your media. You know, they're calling on elected officials to step up and make a statement to calm their political parties down. No, it needs to be the people that say, hey, we've got to come together collectively. We've got to be able to sit down with our own party and say, hey, we need to really reevaluate our morals and principles of what we stand for here. Let's kind of back off a little bit.
I think it's going to take two things. I think the first thing is that people need to recognize that there's more than just two sides. It's not like anytime you see that either this or that.
I know it's more than two sides.
No, I know you do. Yeah. I'm talking about just in general. Right. People have got this so ingrained in them that if they're not this side, then they are the other side. You know, it's like there's no gray area here anymore.
Okay.
And the second thing people need to realize is it's politicians' role. It's their duty. It's their incentive to keep people divided, but to make it look like you gotta have to play this game, this manipulative game where it kind of looks like you're trying to bring people together, but you actually need to make sure that to keep pointing to people's differences.
Right.
You have to, because if you don't, then there's no reason for you. Like as a politician, there's no reason to have a government solve my problems if there's no problem to be solved.
No, I understand
It's the incentive of the politician to make sure that there is a problem to be solved by pointing to people's differences and claiming that I will be there to solve it.
And that's what I have the problem is we depend too much on our elected officials.
Yeah.
They're not going to do shit.
No, they're not.
People need to tune them out.
Zero incentive
quit
to
electing
do so.
for that. You know, quit electing them, and you know, this needs to go back to the state and local levels. Kind of, I know what you're going to say, and it seems like the longer I've done this show with you,
you're working
the more
that way.
I'm getting to that point because society has shown me nothing else seems to be working at this point.
How much easier is it?
Woo.
I don't know what word that was. How much easier is it to focus? I like the way Jordan Peterson talks about it. Like you know, if you're going to try to change the world, start with making your bed.
Yes, I love that.
Start with what you can handle. Make sure you can handle that really well, and then move out from there.
Yeah,
clean your room, clean the house. You know, fix your family.
Right.
Fix your.
It starts at home.
Work with your neighbors and your local community.
And that's what I've been doing for years.
And here's one of the things: like, how many people actually do that? Because they're so focused on what CNN is saying about those fucking Trumplicans up on the Hill. Like, you have nothing to do with that.
Now do you see why I've
no control over that.
Now do you see why I've cut a lot of the social media out of my life?
Mm-hmm. No, I get it.
Because when I do a lot of my charity works, social media has been good in the sense of being able to reach people like it has before in the past.
Yeah.
But now it's that to me that's it. That's it. It serves no purpose in my life anymore. And my conscience is a lot cleaner now that I don't have all that shit running through my mind day in and day out when I check my news feed. Whether it's memes, whether it's just a political post, you know, somebody giving their 2 cents. Mm-hmm. It's like a cleansing for your soul and your mind. It really is. No, I'm being honest with you.
Now I enjoy the back and forth of discussions, be it philosophical, religious, political. I enjoy
to a point. I think to a point.
Well, I mean, as long as it's, you know,
but when it's inundated into your news feed, that's all you see.
When it's in good faith and this, you know, it's people actually having a discussion. I love it. I love it because I love to. It doesn't have anything to do with so much the topic at hand, but more so like the thought processes that get people to where they are, you know.
But to me, that's like a Ben Shapiro Q&A.
Yeah,
that's what I like to listen to.
Yeah,
I don't like to read and listen to the garbage that I'm seeing on social media feeds.
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So when I've stepped away from social media, not entirely, but mostly, you know, this has allowed me to kind of focus in on things that are important that start here at home. Going back to what I was, you know, discussing as far as, you know, working in charity and so forth. But it does. And kind of going back, we kind of got off course with what we were discussing. You know, if we're going to go back to our political parties, I need to focus on my things here at home.
Yeah.
First and foremost. I need to get my house in order. I need to get things straightened out before I can ever set out into the world and start helping other people and help fixing their problems. Because if my home's not in order, I sure as hell don't need to be trying to put something out there that ain't gonna, you know, it's not working for me.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just.
And you notice that the people that are more interested in complete state power tend to be the people that have the most disorganized lives.
I just want to buy 50
what I mean?
acres of property, build me a little 3-bedroom house, 2-bath, and I've already got a couple of guns. I'm good.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck away from people. I'm serious,
That
dude.
might be the move, man. I don't know. I don't know what the move is. A lot of people think
if I
that the
hit
move
this
is to
up,
disconnect from society completely.
I hit this $700 million, dollar Powerball.
Hey,
I'm buying my own fucking island.
more power to you. Buy me an island too. Shit.
I'm moving in next door.
I'll take a small island. I don't mind.
I'll put you up a little cot in the back.
Yeah, I'll take a cot in the back. Take a cat in the back, and maybe it's off the coast of Uganda.
There you go.
All right,
There
guys.
you got lotties.
So, yeah, I hope today's episode is kind of give you some food for thought. Honestly, because
I feel like it was a dumpster fire.
No, I feel I don't know.
It was literally.
Well,
if
I mean,
there was ever a definition of a show of a
we
dumpster
used
fire, politics and
the
social media. Yeah.
The show wasn't a dumpster fire.
No. The topic.
The topic was a dumpster fire that we
Yes.
took a springboard off to discuss
It was
other
a
more
dumpster fire,
more
no matter how
important
you look at it.
topics, But yeah,
This-
I there's got to be some other solution because what we're doing is not working. Is all I'm saying, and I don't know what that solution is. I feel like the solution is anarchism. I feel like the solution is to pull away from politics altogether.
I tell you,
The solution is to stop trying to count on other people, elected officials, to solve our problems. Solve your own problems, people.
I want to. We did it last week, and I want to do it again this week. Let's close out the show on a positive thought.
On a positive thought.
On a positive
you
thought.
give it. You do it this time.
No, we're both going to do it.
No.
I just no.
Nope,
Come on,
I have no positive thoughts. Nothing.
Positive thought.
No, you
Daniel.
gotta warn me ahead of time. This was not my notes.
I
There's
don't care. We're
there's-
not going off notes.
There's
Give
no
me-
note in
dude,
here.
give me a fuck. Just give me a positive.
See, now you're gonna cuss me out because because my notes didn't say positive notes, so I can't. Like, it's against the law.
No, it's not. Positive thoughts.
against the law.
Come on. Just you're taking too long. Positive thoughts. Bring it.
What's the positive thought?
You tell me.
I got nothing, man. I got nothing. I'm not a positive
How are you
person.
not? I'm trying to work on you. We need to build up your people
I'm
skills.
a very sad person, and I don't have a lot of positivity in my life.
Give me something positive in your life. You're dragging us way out too long.
because it's funny, hilarious.
All right. Well, he's not going
I got
to.
a kit. I got a kitten on my lap earlier. I did. Go to our Discord. Go join our Discord. I've got a kitten on my lap.
Deal with this guy.
So much fun. It was a cute kitty on my lap. Hey, by the way,
Something positive. We gained some subscribers, and we're almost at 1,000.
Check this out. This is something positive, and it's a law. And it's a law
it's
that
not.
no,
It's more dad jokes.
no, it's not.
Okay, go ahead.
No, every time the cat's on you in my house, we've determined that it is a law that if that cat's on you, you can't get up.
That is nothing positive.
No, it's a law. Like, I could actually get arrested if I get up by having a cat on my lap.
You realize next Friday night, I'm going to be asking the same question at the end of the show. Give me something positive. You're going to have to.
That's all I got.
Okay. If he's not going to do it, I'm
I
going
just
to do
did.
it.
I talked about
I'm-
kitties. Who doesn't love kitties?
People are getting tired of watching this right now.
All right, so we got. Listen, we got. Okay, do you have something to say before I tell people about the Zoom call
Yeah,
afterwards?
something positive. Something positive.
What do you got? What, you gonna ride me this long for something positive?
Dude,
you ain't got nothing.
you just stretched this out for like 10 minutes with nothing positive at all to
It was
say.
like 3, and I talked about kitties.
I'm positive Daniel's not. There you go. Have a good night.
Wait, that wasn't positive.
It was very positive.
That was inflammatory and hateful.
Hate speech, bitch.
All right, so listen, if you guys want to join us after the show, we're going to be having a private group member only Zoom call, and I will be posting the link in the Discord
The
channel.
only time I'm going to be on there.
I'll post the link in the Discord channel, and I will post the link in the Telegram channel as well. So if you want to join that call here in just a moment after we wrap up the show, we look forward to having you there. And those links are in the description below if you need them.
Yeah,
So-
you guys might be waiting for a few minutes because yeah, I'm going to go smoke.
No, I'm good. I'm bringing it up right now.
Oh, then you have fun with that.
I'm already like on it. Like
Have
it's
you already
already.
stopped streaming?
Huh? No, I haven't stopped streaming.
It's a good thing I wasn't picking my nose.
Well, go ahead and pick your nose.
No,
it's
I'm not
fine.
going to.
Okay. Y'all have a good night.